What up, what up? It's your girl Tiff B First, back with another episode of 99 Problems. And today I want to ask the question, do climbing shoes improve your climbing? So I am in a very complicated situation in regards to climbing shoes post the fall. I typically like to have some sort of support on my left foot, and my left foot is naturally a bit wider in the ankle than my right because of the arthritis that is there. So, trying to find climbing shoes that will fit with my brace, that will also have a snug fit as climbing shoes should, it really puts me in a weird position. Now, prior to the injury, I was one of those climbers, and you were probably one of those climbers who get really stoked on climbing, and I either bought or obtained, in whatever creative way I obtained them, a plethora of climbing shoes. Now, I have in front of me a bunch of climbing shoes because this is kind of the situation that I'm dealing with right now. So, I did managed to find climbing shoes, and most of the reason why I haven't climbed a lot in the past, or at least the past year, was because of the shoe situation. I could not fit my shoes on my feet and be comfortable and not in a ridiculous amount of pain. So I went to an event. It's called Free Solo here in New York City, put on by the New York City Climbing Collective, and basically they distribute resoled shoes. So I thought, let me get some shoes that are already broken in, because this one right here is not breaking in shoes. And I tried on every single pair of shoes they had, and I'm not joking. That fit me. That were my size, 37 to 38ish. And so I did come away with some shoes, and these shoes are so old that I don't even know what the model is. I know they're made by Evolve. They were resoled, so they do have a decent sole, but these shoes slide all over the wall. I can't get any real grip with these shoes. And now that I've been consistently climbing, I am struggling with the fact that I want to be able to perform. So we're going to get into 99 problems. I'm going to show you 3 plus a bonus problem. And I am trying to figure out a way to transition out of these shoes. Now, this shoe fits perfectly with my brace, which you may notice sometimes in videos that I have a brace. I don't always wear the brace. I only put it on in high risk climbing scenarios. So high balls as it, is in the gym. I don't do high balls outside. Or I'll just put on my compression sleeve. And then something you may notice in this episode of climbs is that I've decided to start wearing my compression socks, especially with these shoes, because these shoes are actually kind of big. I feel like they are, so they're actually a whole size larger than my normal size. These are a 38. So shoes shouldn't necessarily fit super loose, and they don't fit loose. Honestly, I just can't get a lot of traction on them, and I am not a fan of foot popping, and that terrifies me. I trust my fingers, but I really need my feet to be able to stay on the wall, and whether it's a greasy hold, these shoes, or a combination of both, I'm just not feeling it. So I went back to revisit shoes that I had prior to the fall, and I'm trying to figure out how to either break these in or get these into a condition where I can start climbing in them. I am going to be attempting to do those techniques that I've seen on the internet on breaking in shoes. So stay tuned. We will see if that works. But this episode, I did actually try what I want to get to being kind of my core performance bouldering shoes. And that's on the left foot, this Scarpa Vapor V. I was climbing in these pretty consistently. They probably are close to needing to be resoled, but these were kind of like my main shoe They're not super aggressive. I think they're just a moderate shoe. And I like them. You know, they're stiff. They're super stiff, which is why I'm struggling to wear them. They are my size. They are 37 and a half, but they are tight and they don't fit with my brace, so I can't wear them with any high risk climbs, but I can fit these with a compression sock on. And so I did try these shoes in one of my videos. Now on the right, because mostly the right of this shoe is actually kind of damaged. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got a weird tear in it. Now for the right, I really want to get back into my instincts. So these are a bit more aggressive of a shoe. You may kind of notice that little downturn, and I can heel hook, I can toe hook with my right foot. So I'm like, let me just have the best shoe that I can on the right. This shoe is also not broken in. So even though I have no issues on my right foot, these hurt like hell. So I do want to try to break these in, but I did try a climb this week with this combination of shoes, and I immediately took them off following that climb. Now, we'll get into whether I feel like it helped or not, but this is the goal combo, is to get back into these shoes. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally do not use the same shoes that I climb within a bouldering gym as I do when I go outside. Now, I got these shoes for free. These shoes are a 37. They're too small. They're Scarpa Maestros. I have at no point actually liked these shoes. I'll be honest. I don't know if it's because they're too small. I know they're kind of like a ripoff of a very classic La Sportiva shoe that everybody in the world prides themselves on wearing as triad climbers. And I might actually look into getting those if this doesn't work out. But I'm trying to get these to become my outdoor shoe. The outdoor shoe that I was wearing were these So Ill shoes that I wore to death. And I know a lot of people who don't like them, who use them as their indoor shoe. But I don't know. I think I just broke them in to the point where they felt like slippers outside, and I could climb in them for 6 hours and be fine. But I do want to try laces. Laces have never been a thing that I liked. And I'm hoping that I can also try some of these techniques to stretch these shoes a bit more and see if I can make these work, because I don't really want to spend money on climbing shoes. I've spent a lot of money on climbing shoes, and I have a lot of shoes that I've barely worn. So I'm gonna try to see if I can make this work. If not, I might head over to Team La Sportiva and see what I can do. Okay, so this week's theme was really trying to step outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to try climbs that scared me a little bit. With that being said, let's get into this week's climbs. This first climb is a slab. And if you know me, I don't do slab. I do not do any unexpected falls. I need to pump out. It's not a thing. So when I walked up to this one or saw this one, I was like, okay, it's crimpy. I'm down with the crimps. I could do crimps. It's slab. I don't really want to do slab, but of everything on this wall, it looked semi-challenging, and it was a part of the, it was rated V3 or that V2 to V4 range that they do at Movement in Harlem, which is where I was. I did this climb with my regular shoes because I didn't think feet would play that much of a part in this climb. I just figured, all right, I can be crimpy. Let me crimp it out and not look down and just focus on getting to the top. For the most part, it was pretty straightforward. Like I said, the feet didn't really matter so much. It really came down to like the last hold. To me, it always looks so much further away in real life than on video. On video, it looks like it's right there. But when I was doing it, it felt so far away. I didn't think I wasn't going to flash this climb, but I thought I might bail out of fear of falling. And so I was proud of myself that I did not. And this one felt good. It felt good to start off with my anti-style. Okay, for this second climb, I decided let's try our dream performance shoe combo. I felt like feet would be involved in this climb in some way, shape, or form, just sort of trying to read the route. But I also just really needed something that I wanted to try these shoes on. And I really had no business on this climb. This climb. It was really about core tension, and I was trying to maintain that tension and not really fly off. This crossover move was actually really difficult, and these holds are not as good as they probably look on camera. And so this was really starting to push my limit to what I could do. And so this high right foot, I really think having these better shoes, that really aggressive shoe, helped me keep my feet on. Now, where this climb started to become a problem is my fear. I saw the height. This hold was really slopey. It didn't really feel good. I was afraid to fall. So I skipped to the next one. That one also felt kind of slopey. And then I made it to the last hold, and I looked down. I should not have looked down, and I freaked out. And now I got my hand on that top. The top was terrible. The top was awful. And I was so pumped, where I was like, okay, I'm really close to getting this. But even if I get this, I don't think I'm going to be able to climb down. I'm going to have to fall. And you folks who are lucky enough to just be able to jump down, I could have easily, and I shouldn't say easy because that climb was not easy for me, for my level. It was nice because I was like, finally, a challenging climb that had interesting moves that allowed me to use my feet. I'm sure I could have used my feet again at the top, but I'm not as confident in my sloper ability, especially on a move that's all the way at the top, as I am with my crimping ability. So for me, the risk wasn't worth it, and I was so pumped, I decided come down, walk away, and take the L. Okay, so for climb number 3, I went back to my comfortable shoes. It was also another, what I would consider a high ball, but it looked technical, and I really wanted to do something that allowed me to use what I do know is some climbing technique. And so this one was also kind of shouldery in the start. And I tried to maintain as much tension as I could on that swing over move. Now, coming up, the holds are good. You know, I would classify these as kind of juggish. And so it wasn't an issue with the holds, but the holds were greasy where my feet were, and I have the trash shoes on. And I do believe that, A, I should have probably brushed the holds, but B, I do believe the shoes kind of impacted my ability. On top of the fact that at no point was I really mentally prepared to go to the top of this climb. The finish move looks really scary. I really just wanted to try something that seemed a little challenging, but I feel like the shoes are what stopped me on this climb. And so I wanted to at least try to give it just one more try. You know, I didn't think projecting this was going to get me to the top, but I just wanted to see if I could get my head game back in it. The feet still weren't good. And I said, nope, I'm not climbing this with the shoes. I didn't clean it. I should have cleaned it. I could have changed shoes, but the shoes were so painful. I just opted out. I just punked out. Honestly, I can't even tell you. You know, I think it was just one of those things where I was really looking at the climb, and my heart wasn't in the risk factor, and so I walked away. Now, this was all about getting outside of my comfort zone, but I really, really, really love a cave, an overhang, anything that gets me to where I can just focus on my upper body strength, my core strength, although my core is not where I want it to be. So I went to this gym's sort of cave-ish area. So I jumped on the yellow, and it's my jam. All the holds are good. It's really just about the overhang and being able to sort of maintain that core tension and footwork. I really wanted to do this clean and with no like foot pops and fly offs. That was my goal going into this. So I was just trying to like focus on technique, remember that you know how to climb. And as I was going up it, I kind of realized something. I have not been training endurance. I've been training leg strength, not for climbing, just for my own rehab. And I just don't have the endurance to do some of these pumpier climbs. And don't ask me what I was doing with my heel. I just didn't want to fly off. Again, I was trying to like stay on the wall. I knew I was going to fly off if I made this big move. And this was a big-ish move. But the hold I was going to was good. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But by the time I got to the finish, I was extremely pumped, like way more pumped than I thought, to the point where I couldn't actually climb all the way down. And I never fall from that height unless I have no choice. So my goal for the next few weeks is really to start endurance training or arc training. I used to do it, but I'm realizing now, since I have to down climb, I have to improve my endurance. That's just the bottom line. But I love that climb, and I really do want to get back to that red climb and try it. If it's there when I go back again, I do want to try it. I don't think it's going to be because there's a comp coming up, but I really want to try things outside of my comfort zone, or a little bit harder. I really want to get back to sort of that V5 range, maybe even V6. But I'm headed outside this summer, y'all. So look forward to some outdoor climbing, but I got to get these shoes together. I have to get these shoes together. So if you have any advice for me on how to navigate my shoe situation, specifically for the left foot, since they don't sell single shoes, climbing shoes. Like if I could just buy one climbing shoe that's slightly larger than the other one, then maybe I would consider that, but I just don't know what to do, y'all. So I appreciate your advice. But if you enjoy watching me struggle on these boulders, hit that subscribe button. New videos here. I'm trying to be more consistent, but each and every week is my goal to give you some sort of content. And I appreciate those of you who watch, like, subscribe, follow. I appreciate the trolls. Troll away. You know, I love climbing too, so I will watch all things climbing. But if you just want to be here and hate on me, that is no problem. I will take the views all day. But in the meantime, between time, see you next climb. Peace.